Hey everybody, so I'm just trying something different out this time. I'm going to give you some practice with the preterite versus imperfect live, so hopefully I don't make any mistakes. To do that, I'm going to have to share two links with you though first, and the first one is going to be some notes that I gave my students in class that kind of shows you which you want to use, like preterite versus imperfect. So this one is the picture of the notes, and I'll go through the notes to make sure that you understand them. And then I'm going to put a second link in the chat, and the second link is the activity that we're going to be doing together. So activity. Okay, I know that it doesn't look like anyone's live right now, but I don't expect that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that picture first. So if you're watching this video later, go ahead and click on that link that's in the chat box to open up the picture, because I'm going to start talking about that right now. So I've got a list of 15 different things for when you might use the preterite or the imperfect when narrating or talking about things in the past. So the first one is emotions. And for when you're talking about people's feelings, you're going to want to think about ongoing, like before. I'm sorry, let me go back, take a step back. If this is new to you, generally speaking, the imperfect is used to narrate things that were ongoing in the past, whereas the preterite is kind of like just a one-time thing or one little notch in this long narration that you're talking about. So if you look at it through the goggles of ongoing imperfect versus one-time thing preterite, that'll help you decide. Imperfect being the ongoing and preterite being the one-time thing. So emotions are going to be imperfect. If you think about feelings as something that, generally speaking, are an ongoing type of a thing, that might help you decide which one you want to use. The second one, edad, is age. And this one's pretty easy. If you just think about age, you never stop aging, right? Your age is always progressing. So you're going to want to use the imperfect for that. Number three, oh, did I skip one? Yeah, I did. Sorry. Number two is el tiempo, which is the weather. And kind of like the age, which I just said, weather is always changing, like the temperature's going up, temperature's going down. It's going to be windy, cold, whatever. So el tiempo will also be the imperfect. Number four says something that you did once. So that's going to be like that notch in time that I mentioned a minute ago. So like yesterday, while I was walking to the store, I saw a bird. That'd be that one-time thing. That's going to be the preterite. Number five is going to be the imperfect. So it's something that you did many times. So like when I was a kid, my brothers and I, we played outside every day. That's going to be something you did many times. That's going to be the imperfect. Number six is when you start something or when you started something. So if I wanted to say like last night at 8 o'clock, I started my homework. That's like that one notch. Boom, started it, preterite. And then number seven is kind of along the same lines. Like you started it at 8, you finished it at 9. Those are just one-time things. So preterite for number 7 also. Number 8, después de siempre. So after the word always implies a habitual action, in which we'll see on number 11 in just a second. Habitual things or things that you did over and over again in the past are also going to be the imperfect. Number 9, that word mientras. So after the word mientras means while, and while implies an ongoing action. Like while I was walking to the store, that word while, put the imperfect after it. Number 10, después de una vez. Oh, I got erased a little bit there. I should say VEZ for una vez. So after the word once or like one time, that's kind of like just this once, I went to the park. That's going to be the preterite because it's a one-time thing. And then number 11, I mentioned a second ago, habitual things you did over and over again will be the imperfect. Number 12, la hora, that's time. Time is going to be the imperfect. It's kind of like the weather and age. It's always moving, right? It's always changing. Time doesn't stand still, so it's ongoing, so it'll be the imperfect. Number 13 says después de todos los días, so after every day. Every day goes back to number 11, the habitual things you did over and over again. So that's going to be imperfect. Number 14, with the progressive, so that's like what people were doing. So if I wanted to say, I was talking on the phone, I could say, yo estaba hablando por teléfono, and that's going to be an imperfect because that was happening at that time. And if you remember the hablando, that's the NDO or the ando or yendo is kind of the equivalent of ing in Spanish, like talking, walking. So that implies an ongoing thing. And then the last one, number 15, is descriptions of people and things. So Like when I was young, I was really short and fat. That's an ongoing things in the past that they're not a one-time thing, right? It's describing what things were like. The trees were tall and green. It was a really pretty day. Like these are things that were ongoing in the past, descriptions of things and people. That will be imperfect. So now we're going to jump over to that document again, which is linked in the chat box, and I'm going to talk you through that. So if you want to actually pause the video and do the activity, give yourself some practice, what I have for you are 8 sentences. In each sentence, there are 2 verbs that must be conjugated. Based on the things I just showed you in that picture, one of the things needs to be in the preterite and the other one needs to be in the imperfect. So if you want to try and pause the video and conjugate the verbs, and then come back and I'll start giving the answers in just a couple seconds. So pause it if you want to try and do it on your own. All right, so number 1, yo estar feliz. So feliz is happy, that's feeling, that's going to go into the imperfect category. So number 1 will be yo estaba feliz cuando yo vi a tu madre. I was happy when I saw your mom, or I saw my mom. Number 2, she went to Europe when she was 20 years old. So the 20 years old, that's age. Age is imperfect. So the sentence will be ella fue a Europa cuando tenía 20 años. Number 3 is telling time at the beginning. So time's going to be in imperfect. So it'll be eran las 9 de la noche cuando yo empecé mi tarea. And I want to remind you that the yo form of empezar, empecé, that Z is going to change to a C. Number 4, mientras mi profesor. So there's the word mientras, which means while. You're going to put the imperfect after that. So mientras mi profesor enseñaba la lección, yo fui al baño. Number 5, de niño, yo siempre. There's that word siempre. Siempre implies habitual. So I always talked to my grandparents as a kid. Hablaba. But yesterday, I didn't talk to them. That was that one-time thing. So it'll be hablé. Number 6, tú, and then you have that word caminando after the blank. That's walking. That's the progressive. So we're going to put that into the estar into the imperfect. Tú estabas caminando a la escuela cuando tu amigo te llamó. Accent mark over that O on llamó. So you were walking to school when your friend called you. Number 7 says frío after the hacer. So we're talking about the weather. It was cold when we arrived at the house. So the first one will be the imperfect because it's weather. Hacía frío cuando nosotros llegamos a casa. Y el número 8, en el pasado, yo estudiar mucho. So in the past, I studied a lot. So that's kind of like an open-ended, no defined period of time, an ongoing thing in the past. So I'll do the imperfect for that first one and have estudiaba. But last night, I didn't study at all. So that's that one-time thing, and that will be estudié. Those are all of the answers. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. And those documents, or that one document and that picture, are available to you in the chat section if you want to download them and save them or use them any way you want to. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego.